Coming up today on UB Basketball Insider, we sit down with Bulls head coach Nate Oats to find out the keys to the amazing start for the men's basketball season. You'll meet the men's basketball high flyer with ties to LeBron James. The women's team is home for a big one today against Toledo, but will go on the road with sharpshooter Sierra Dillard. It's UB Basketball Insider. It is time to tip it off.
You will take it.
We didn't give up. We kept fighting.
Every single possession.
We just got to figure out a way to win a game.
Basketball fans on your feet. Here come your Bulls.
Stolen by Massenberg, dunked with the right hand. Flashy no-look pass over to Summer Hemphill.
Wilkins three, good.
Ray the follow dunk. Sensational move from the freshman.
Well, hi, everybody, and welcome to UB Basketball Insider. And we welcome in Bulls head basketball coach Nate Oats. And before we talk about your next game, which is Tuesday night against Eastern Michigan, I feel like I ask you this question every week, Nate, which is just give me a sense of why things are going so well, how they're going so well, how pleased you are with everything that's happened so far this season.
I mean, we've got really good talent for one. And then two is our culture is really good. I think guys have really come together. They like spending time with each other. You know, they all room with each other, all stay in the same spot to hang out with each other. I think that stuff goes a long ways. We spend all summer and then still have Arnie come in once a week and just do like team building, not even team building, more like mental skills type, character stuff. Like all that stuff goes a long ways when you got everybody on the same page. And even guys that don't play much, I think when we added Dom Johnson, we talked about it as a team. Like he's been great for the team. I mean, he hasn't played any real big minutes in big games, but he's just his attitude. So I think everything's kind of come together like that, and we don't really have any issues. So that, you know, and then obviously when you're talented, it doesn't matter if you do all that stuff and have no talent. Right. Then you got a great group that loses all the time. But we got a great group that's really talented, that plays really hard and plays together. So you end up getting a lot of wins when that happens.
And I think the follow-up question to that, Nate, and this intrigues me in with a guy like Wes Clark, to drop him, even though he's been practicing with the team, but at least from the outside, to drop him in the middle of this could have very well created he's getting my minutes, he's getting my shots. None of that has happened. How have you been able to do that with a guy who sort of comes out of nowhere a little bit but fits seamlessly into the whole group?
Yeah, I mean, a few things. Some of them, you know, just happen to fall our way. But one is he's a great kid. Like, you know, if he was an arrogant, kind of all about me type of kid, it won't work. So he's all about winning. I mean, I knew that when I brought him in. Like, he's the most competitive, want to win. And he's telling Jeremy, come on, you're the best player on the floor. You got to play like the best player on the floor. You got to be aggressive. So it's not like he's coming in, I got to get all my shots and all that type of thing. Second thing is we were down to 7 guys at Delaware, if you remember. Mm-hmm. So our numbers were down. So there was overlap where we didn't have him or Carruthers. So Carruthers played so well, then he got hurt. Then we didn't have anybody. And I shouldn't say anybody, but we didn't have like that one guy. We were starting James Reese. So it was a little bit easier. You know, everything kind of fell in place. I mean, we started Wes's first game. You know, had Carruthers been healthy still, you probably bring Wes off the bench and work him in a little slower. Well, there was a spot. It was kind of a big spot that was a little bit open right there that we just kind of put him in, and he took off and played great those first 2 games. And, you know, he just had to get back in shape. Now with the shoulder injuries, hopefully that thing clears up real fast and we can get him where he's practicing so he can get back in shape when we hit our peak. You know, we want to hit our peak mid-February to going into March is what we want to do.
Next home game for Nate's team comes up Tuesday night when they host the Eastern Michigan Eagles, a 7 o'clock tip-off here at Alumni Arena. When Eastern Michigan comes on your schedule, there's always the challenge of them being really the only team in your conference that plays a zone defense, very similar, obviously, to the Syracuse famous 2-3 zone. How big an adjustment is that for your guys? Because they don't see it very often.
Yeah, I mean,
although they did see it against Syracuse.
Yeah, now we saw it for the whole game against Syracuse, just like you'll see it for the whole game against Eastern. You've seen it off and on with some different teams. They'll throw and with how, you know, how athletic and how much we want to penetrate, some teams will go to zone more than they typically would against us. But I think it helped that we played Syracuse. You know, we got a little bit of a feel for it. We didn't do very good against it in the first half. We did significantly better in the second half. And I haven't looked at the Syracuse numbers for a couple of weeks, but a couple of weeks ago somebody called me about asking what we do against zones. I looked it up. I think only one team think Kansas was the only team that had scored more points against Syracuse other than us in a 40-minute game. Like there was one team, Georgetown went to overtime and scored more. So I think our adjustment in the second half against that game, now that was a while ago, so we're going to have to dial it back up and try to figure out, what the difference between first half, second half against Syracuse. But it would make it hard. They got James Thompson, best shot blocker in the league, in my opinion, sitting
Number
right
one rebounder as well.
Yeah, I mean, he's good. I mean, he's sitting right at the rim. It's hard to finish at the rim. You're going to have to make some threes, and it's been a little, 3 for 18 in the first half the other game, and then we come back and go 8 for 13 in the second half. We can't put 2 3 for 18 halves together and beat that zone. So we're going to have to score inside some, makes it harder on Thompson. But I think our guard play, and you can still penetrate the zone, and I think we've got a pretty good zone package. But, shoot, they made it hard. Our first year here, we had a pretty good year, and we had to see them in the quarterfinals, and it didn't go so well. So, that's always in the back of your mind. You never know against that zone.
That's Tuesday night here at Alumni Arena against Eastern Michigan. You brought up a couple of the last week wins, including the victories over Northern Illinois and Miami. The one thing that was a theme in both of them, and I think this goes to a lot of the development of your team, was you slogged through the first halves a little bit, but you guys were able to turn it on and wind up having double-digit wins in both games. How much do you see that as an indication of the growth of a team that can say, we didn't play great, not everything worked our way, we might have shot 3 of 18 from 3, but it didn't matter. They put it out of their mind and they came out and played their best basketball?
Yeah, I think it's two things. One, it does show a little bit of maturity that you can get yourself corrected and go the right direction. I think it also, we got to grow up and play 42, and we've been talking about that. Now, was it an effort deal? Not 100%, but I do think we played a little bit harder in the second half. Like, our effort was good enough in both those games to still be up at the half, just not as much as we would have liked. So we're really trying to get them to play with max effort, kind of like we did in the second half of those games for 2 halves. So we need to grow up a little bit, but I will say we've come a ways where we can, struggle a little bit in the half and then come out in the second half and really turn it up. The other thing is, I think part of it is we play so fast that, and some teams, we're getting everybody's A game, so they can hang with us for 20, and then we just wear on people as the full 40 goes. At some point in that second half, they kind of break and crack, and we just keep pushing the pace. And we're pretty deep, and we play fast. We're used to playing fast. They're not used to playing it fast. And at some point, we talk about pounding the stone. You just keep doing it, and eventually it cracks, and you break the game wide open, which is what happened those 2 games.
Yeah, it most certainly did. Again, the Bulls in Eastern Michigan, Tuesday night here at 7 o'clock. Thanks, Coach.
Thanks, Paul.
Coming up, we head out on the road with sharpshooter Sierra Dillard of the UB women's basketball team. UB Basketball Insider returns right after this. Buffalo sports fans, get to Alumni Arena on Tuesday, January 23rd to cheer on the UB men's basketball team as they host MAC opponent Eastern Michigan. With long-range threes, monster dunks, and intense defense, don't miss your chance to see the Bulls in action. Tip-off is at 7 p.m. Get your tickets today and let's make it loud inside Alumni Arena. To order, call 877-UB-THERE or visit ubbulls.com.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by CEFQ, changing lives every day.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck from inside the Bulls basketball team room here at Alumni Arena. Women's team is home today. It's a big one for them. A 2 p.m. tip-off at Alumni Arena against Toledo. Bulls guard Sierra Dillard coming off back-to-back 20-point games. But earlier this season, we had a chance to go on the road with Sierra. Her personality and her game is just as good outside of Buffalo.
Dillard has it on the left wing. Dribbling with the right's going to pull up from deep again and drills it. Are you kidding me? Sierra Dillard is just stroking it tonight. A massive 71-49 win over the Western Michigan Broncos. Buffalo, the Road Warriors, are going to head back on the road, so not much time to get comfortable here in Buffalo as they're going to head to Northern Illinois this weekend.
Oh, I'm so pleased.
See, we're coming to Illinois. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Coming to the game.
We're coming to the game. You want to come to the game?
I'll be happy to flight crew, we'd like to be the first to welcome you to Chicago.
Just got into Chicago.
You know,
Getting our baggage claimed. Okay. We're about to take you around town.
Let me get cute though. Hey, go Bulls.
This is the bus. This is nice. First time in Chi-Town. Who's first time in Chi-Town? You And then the NIU. Front was great. Got some good shots up, ran over the plays. Good shoot around. Oh shit. Buffalo arriving at the Hampton.
They're not gonna defend. They just want the ball back. They just want to push it, push it, push it.
Good morning. We're headed
Breakfast
to
time on game day.
Might not be yours.
Nah, wait.
I stand for the team. I stand for one. I stand for the cause. What do we stand for? Because one day you're going to be that person. And there's going to be somebody that's going to be wanting to tell your story.
Welcome back inside the Convocation Center, ladies and gentlemen, where the Buffalo Bulls and the NIU Huskies are squaring off live from DeKalb, Illinois. They'll look forward to seeing this Buffalo defense, that blue-collar mentality that Coach Jack brings to this team. Voigt now tries to dish it over to May, I believe they got to, and May just gets the ball stolen right away from her, so Buffalo gets it back. Dillard looking to heat up and knocks it down from the left wing. Dillard trying to do a little bit of big men move on her own. She slides down to the right block, misses her first attempt, gets the offensive rebound, and goes off glass and in.
Come back, come back. Give him a layup, give him a layup. Don't give that little shot that goes.
Dillard now goes behind the back, knifes away between a bunch of defenders. No look past the Hemphill. Are you kidding me? Hemphill off glass and in. Dillard has eyes in the back of her head. And Sierra Dillard comes in and steals the inbounds pass. She's going with the left, up and off the glass and in. Dillard turning defense into offense.
You gotta let people see your passion, whatever your passion is. Win, we lose, we come close. That is second to your story.
So far this season, the Bulls are 14-3, 5-1 in the MAC, and a chance to improve those marks today right here at Alumni Arena. It's a 2 p.m. tip-off against the defending MAC women's champions, the Toledo Rockets. More to come on UB Basketball Insider, including an introduction into one of the Bulls' best freshmen.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. This segment is presented by Town BMW, the official auto partner of UB Athletics.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. You had to notice Javon Graves turning in one of the dunks of the year at the Bulls' last home game against Northern Illinois. But the Bulls freshman is used to big-time plays in big-time games. That's what happens when you go to the same high school as LeBron James.
Hi, I'm Javon Graves, freshman on the Buffalo Bulls basketball team. I'm from Malvern, Ohio. I went to Malvern my whole through 8th grade, and then I decided to transfer to St. Vincent St. Mary in Akron. Everywhere around the school is LeBron. You see, everybody is excited every time he comes on. he comes around every now and then. My senior year was it was amazing. For that year, for me, I just felt like I did whatever the team needed and just paid attention to details and focused one game at a time, and we made it to the championship and won it, and it was amazing. One of the big reasons for me to come to Buffalo was to go to the NCAA tournament, and I knew that here was a place that I can do it. Coach Oats, his style of play is, he opens the floor up. He's a great coach, offense, defense, anything. It's just fits my game because I like to play make for others, and I can shoot it, and he likes shooters.
Top of the key to Massenberg, 8 to shoot. CJ jumps it past the Graves on the left wing. He'll try a 3 and rattle it down. Javon Graves' second trifecta of the first half.
Captains of the team, Perk, CJ, they treat me just like family. And the people I came in with, we're all close. We live together, so we got this connection. We talk about high school, their junior college, everything. Dante, me and him have a close relationship, and he's helped me so much on the defensive end because, it's Defense Player of the Year. He gives me clues to how he approaches the game. And then CJ, he helps me just with whatever offense and everything because he's done it for a while. Strengths of my game right now are I penetrate and getting others involved. I can finish. I feel as if I can score. And I just rebound and do anything for my team.
Kicks to Perkins, he'll try another 3, that time no, but a follow slam from Javon Graves. Two-hand follow flush.
My goals are for the year is to do whatever I can for our team to win, whether that's me being a rebounder, the assist, anything. And I also like to be Freshman Player of the Year. For this group, I want to create relationships with them and win a MAC championship.
Well, I think the interesting thing with Javon, Nate, is you're seeing him continue to get more comfortable, to continue to emerge. He's shooting the threes better, and then every once in a while he gets one of those breakaway windmill dunks that we saw against Northern Illinois. You're seeing a guy who's getting more comfortable.
Yeah, I think his confidence has picked up. I mean, he's a quiet kid. Like, for those of you that don't really know Javon, he doesn't say a whole lot. But he's got a college-made body coming out of high school. He's big, strong, really talented. So I think it takes him a little bit to get warmed up to it. Now I think he's really comfortable with the guys. He's a lot more comfortable with the coaching staff. We're seeing him. I kind of got on him. He had 2 games in a row. I think he averaged about 22 minutes and had 1 rebound in the 2 games. So you're averaging 0.5 rebounds in 20-plus minutes. Like you're like, look at yourself. Like, there's seniors in college that want the body you got already. Like, we got so then he comes out. So anything you ask him to do, then he came out and had 6 rebounds. He had the nice tip dunk off Perkins, missed 3, and then he got the 2 breakaways, the one he windmilled. So I think he's getting much, much more comfortable trying to figure out how we want him to play. He was second in the MAC in three-point percentage. It's hard to stay at 67%, but he's still shooting, over 50. Like, he's shooting the ball well, where earlier he was struggling shooting it. He struggled to finish at the rim, which made no sense to me. As strong and athletic as you are, just go up like Coach B used to, just go up and dunk the ball. Mm-hmm. Like, now he's going through and finishing through contact and getting himself to the free throw line. So I'm really happy with the progression he's made since the beginning of the year.
He's the Ohio State Player of the Year in high school. He won an Ohio State championship, and we've already, everybody I think already knows he played at St. Vincent St. Mary High School, which is the high school of LeBron James. All of that combined, how much does that move him a little bit ahead of being ready to adjust to big-time basketball?
Yeah, I mean, he played in the UIBL in the summer. He's played against high-level talent all through high school. So it's a little bit similar to, like, I think of some of my Romulus kids where we played, the best teams in the state, in the whole Midwest, where he did the same thing in high school. So he's a little bit more ready. They're still freshmen, though. So, as good a high school career as you've had, you're still a freshman. You see it all over the country. Like, now he's played enough minutes. He's playing a pretty heavy role. By this time of their freshman year, if they've played that much the entire year, they've kind of graduated to where, you kind of call him a sophomore by this stage. He's not technically one, but he's played enough minutes. And, he was given the opportunities to play through some of the early parts where he struggled, and we just kept stuck with him. So he's playing great now. We need him to play well. I mean, we shoot, he gives us that scoring off the bench, and now he's starting to guard a lot better and rebound it. He's starting to do everything we envisioned him doing when we brought him in here.
A famous basketball coach once said the best thing about freshmen is they eventually become sophomores, right?
It's true. He's got to that stage already. I think halfway through the freshman year, we got him into the stage we wanted him to.
Yeah, good stuff. Thanks, Coach.
Appreciate it, Paul.
Coming up, the UB men's basketball team is red hot in conference play. We'll show you just how exciting the Bulls have been when UB Basketball Insider returns.
For nearly 100 years, ECMC has brought hope and healing to Western New York. I'm living proof, and I couldn't be more grateful. Like cancer, we all hope trauma will never happen to us. But when it does, we can rely on ECMC to always be there. I hope you join me to be there for them and help them build their new state-of-the-art trauma center and emergency department. Visit supportecmctrauma.org to help learn how you can support life-saving care.
This is UB Basketball Insider, presented by ECMC, the difference between healthcare and true care.
Welcome back to UB Basketball Insider. My name is Paul Peck, inside the basketball team room here at Alumni Arena. Well, as we've showed you, and as you already know, the men's basketball team is hot. Here is how hot. Your next chance to see the red-hot UB men's team comes Tuesday night when they host the Eastern Michigan Eagles at 7 o'clock right here at Alumni Arena. But today, it's the women's team, equally hot, trying to keep that going when they host Toledo. That's a 2 p.m. tip-off right here at Alumni Arena. A lot of good stuff to talk about. We'll have even more to talk about when you join us for next week's edition of UB Basketball Insider.